Hello everyone, welcome to today's episode. Today I have the honor and privilege to welcome our guest of the day, Mr. Teja Gudluru, who is the CEO and founder You Do Now, which was conceived with a sole motive to help Indian audience in every step they take in life with expert advice. That is from travel and relationship advice to handling a difficult boss, career guidance, demand express advice in life's difficult situation, or sometimes simply someone to give you fashion advice. In a nutshell, You Do is a complete package in itself. We would love to know your thoughts on the role of mobile applications in accelerating digital transformation in India. Mr. Gudlur, the first question that I have for you, we know that there is a paradigm shift from the offline world to the online world altogether due to the COVID-19 pandemic. So, how do you think mobile applications can bring about a change in a country like India, where half the population still do not have access to internet?
First of all, thank you for that lovely introduction, I must say. So thank you. I think you've captured that well. And in terms of your question, how can mobiles enable this digital transformation? I'm going to be a little cliched here to tell you that necessity is the mother of all inventions, right? Before demonetization happened, nobody ever thought that even in the ruralmost areas of India, people would prefer using their phones to make payments through UPI or whatever. But when things are going tough and you still need to survive and sustain your business, I think the need of going online automatically comes up. And that's exactly what is happening now. Companies and organizations that have refused to use digital means to run their businesses, right, are now looking at various ways of going online. Newspapers is your biggest example. The adaptation of e-papers now is the highest than any time else in the world because people have refused to accept physical newspapers. So from that perspective, I think the scope is huge, and the consumer behavior, thanks to the pandemic, has quite changed. So now the expectation from the consumer also is that they would prefer something on the palm rather than walk to a store. So from that perspective, I think it does really help.
It's very true. Like necessity indeed is the mother of all inventions, and that brings me to the second question, I think, and that is, why do you think digital strategy is the new need of the hour across all organizations?
I mean, like I said, I think it's about survival now, right?
Right.
And I keep saying that this is now 2020's mantra for me, which is survive. 2020 is all about survival. Growth can happen later. So from that
Right.
perspective, the only way a business can survive, whether it is a local store right next to your house or a large company, is to look at digital assets for their organizations, to look at digital means to be reaching out to their consumers. So from that perspective, digital strategy, I think, is of utmost importance currently. It always was, but I think it even more so is now. So.
Due to the pandemic, the whole thing has just accelerated at this point of time, actually.
Absolutely. And people like us, in the mobile tech, ed tech platforms are just
Right.
switching our hands right now. While it is a negative situation, I think there couldn't be a better time for a lot of startups in India to come up
Absolutely.
front and pull up their socks. So absolutely, yes.
Absolutely. The next question is actually something more personal, and that is about your mobile application. And there are so many mobile applications out there that have similar features, if not the same. Then, how do you think You Do Now is going to stand out considering the COVID-19 situation?
I was hoping you wouldn't compare us with the others, but I think there's
Not
something.
really comparing, but more like trying to highlight
I
the
understand.
application altogether.
So it's very, very simple, Ms. Banerjee. Uh, we are similar in terms of some features of some of the apps in the market, but we are India's only comprehensive freelancing app, which also, by the way, provides free video conferencing. So that's how we'd like to position ourselves, right? So any freelance resource right now is the time to be looking at passive income. When there is a fear of losing jobs, when people have already lost jobs, where do you get your sustaining income from when there are no jobs in the market? So this is the app that lets you freelance at ease. If you're using any of the other video conferencing softwares, I have to create everything on my own, which means I create a link, then I advertise it to my users, then I collect payments, I chase them for payments, and then I share the link with them, right? Here,
Right.
we've integrated everything into one app. It's a freelancing app. People can find you, which means you're keeping lesser effort to reach out to your user base. They can look at your profile, they can look at what skills you have. You can decide a charge per hour that you will charge for your time with them. They are connected through wallets. So it's all integrated solution where if you're a freelancer, you don't have to do anything else, just download the app. And by the way, if you want free webinars and video conferences, we give that too. So
That
that's how
is absolutely beautiful. Yeah.
we're positioning ourselves in the market right now.
The USP indeed is unique in itself. Now, virtual training is called as, it is known as the future, or the future of the new normal, if I would like to put it that way. So what exactly are your thoughts on that, Mr. Teja?
I think there are two aspects to this, really. When you say virtual learning, there is one direct live interactions with trainers, which we call the virtual instructor-led trainings, and then there is all the plethora of different companies that have come up, which is e-learning or animated learning or augmented learning, and both are important. Now, if you look at adaptation rates or utilization rates of e-learning in companies pre-COVID, right? The number of employees that have used e-learning to study and learn has been less than 2%, right? And you talk to any major company, they'll tell you this. I think post-COVID, it is only slightly increased to about 5 or 6% because people still prefer human interaction.
Right,
Of course, there are
absolutely.
some transactional technical courses where you don't really need an instructor, which is where some of the other programs, other companies have ruled the roost over the while. But right now, employees are working from home, and it eliminates a biggest learning perspective for any organization, which is peer-to-peer learning. If I have a senior in the organization, I have a question, I can just walk over to their desk and have a conversation. With 70% of the employees working from home now, right? That key element of learning human to human has been taken away. So it is becomes important that the companies also look at virtual instructor-led training, which means like what we are doing right now, talk to each other, learn from an expert, and then perhaps go and follow it up with an e-learning course, right? So I
Right.
think it's going to be the future of learning for a lot of organizations in India or the world, in fact.
So how can a mobile app like you do now actually help brands create a stronger customer relationship? Because as you said, especially for startups or organizations in general, they have to actually adapt to the whole technology, digital technology, and work with it to grow because this is going to be the new normal altogether. So how is you do now actually going complement their growth?
So right now, I think what is important is ease of access, and there is a definite need for, and this is something that perhaps some of them won't agree, but I somehow believe that this is a time for brands to over communicate, right? They've always been communicating well. They've always had PR channels, media channels, social media, but right now everybody is going through a pandemic. There is stress in the market, stress in minds, stress on jobs. So I think for every organization, it is important that they over communicate with their employees, keep them assured, over communicate with their clients, and over communicate with their consumers as well. So from that perspective, they need a easy access interface in between that can enable that to happen. In fact, we currently have a lot of global clients where we are becoming a peer-to-peer coaching app for them, which means if I'm sitting in India, but I work for a large organization that has branches all across the world, why am I restricted to talk to my fellow people? Can I call somebody in Brazil and get coaching from them, right? So the
Absolutely.
ease of access that apps can create is what is the future for Indian startups, I think.
Absolutely. And you now is absolutely going to complement the same perfectly. And that brings me to the very last question, actually. And that is, we can see that you now is already doing pretty well. It is growing. But what is your ultimate vision and how are you actually moving towards that vision? We would love to know that.
So globally, it's a very powerful question what you asked, and thank you. Globally, I think every country is now trying to protect their citizens, which means
Absolutely.
a lot of jobs that Indians are enjoying, like for example, recently US canceled their entire H-1Bs this year, right? Which means they will now look at more than before cheaper resources, but more critically, freelance resources because that comes cheaper. So, which is why they're saying the gig economy is going to be like blooming in the next few years, where most of the resources are freelancers, right? So, our global vision is to take our freelance resources in India and showcase them to the world through this app, which means anybody needs a mobile app development. We have the experts, connect with them, talk to them, and they will get that work done for you. If you want your entire contact center to be outsourced, right, even within India, because now employees coming into offices has been reduced, right? So if
Right.
you really want to have your contact centers outsourced, we have a lot of housewives, we have a lot of retired senior professionals who have signed up on the app and be available, who are equally employed, equally qualified, equally experienced, right? But are now coming perhaps 80% cheaper than having a real estate of an office and transport and all of that. So the larger vision is for companies to realize that they can tap into the resources, and India is resource rich. So we somehow want to be in between these two for our Indian experts as well. So that's the larger
It
vision.
can cut down on the cost on a huge level altogether, actually.
So if I'm a small company and I need a receptionist, for example, or a
Yes.
telecaller, I may have to end up taking paying them a full month salary. But if they come on Udo and employ one of our freelancers, they only pay per call, right?
Right. Absolutely.
They spend about 50% lesser. So even for startups, I think this is a brilliant platform for them to come up and sign up as well. So
Thank you so much, Mr. Teja. It was an absolute pleasure to have this conversation and interaction with you. We would love to have you back, and thank you so much.
thank you so much for inviting me here. Appreciate it. Thank you.